Batting cleanup tonight is a new friend of mine, and a good new friend of mine. This he's done everything. His bio is extraordinary. He was in the Navy, he was on a submarine. He's a writer, he's a poet, he's a storyteller. And he has more life in his left arm than most people have in their whole body. Phillip Giambri? Phillip Giambri.
Thank you. Wow, I'm impressed with me after that.
That's funny.
It's the summer of 1963. I'm returning to the States from my fourth and last Cold War submarine patrol. No more war games, spy games, waiting to nuke Russia. In 2 months, I'm out. I'm gone. I got a plan. Quit drinking, GI Bill, back to school, start writing again, try and get a life. At the duty-free shop in Prestwick, Scotland, I'm allowed to purchase and take back 4 imperial quarts of whiskey. That's a lot more than a gallon of booze. Okay, the plan's on temporary hold. I hit the States. I'm ready to party my ass off. Doc and I leave New London, Connecticut by train. We're heading for a weekend in Philly, our hometown. Doc's a lifer in the Navy. He's about 10 years older than me. He's from North Philly, I'm from South Philly. He's black, I'm not. We're not close friends. We pulled 4 long patrols together. We got each other's back. We know we can handle anything that can happen to 2 horny sailors carrying 2.5 gallons of scotch on a 5-hour train ride. We take seats in the last row of the last car, backs against the bathroom wall by the water fountain. The 2 seats facing us are the only empty seats on the car when the train leaves. Apparently, nobody wants to sit facing 2 sailors filling paper cups from large bottles of scotch. Our welcome home party's underway. At the stop in New Haven, 2 very attractive ladies look to be in their mid-20s board our car. They're standing in the aisle alongside us, arms folded, staring. They finally ask, would you mind moving your feet? We'd like to sit down. We mumble a lame apology and they take the seats opposite us. We're trying to act nonchalant. We paste on fake smiles, but we continue pouring scotch and banging them down. Meanwhile, across the aisle from us, a loud group of college kids has been watching us pour and consume a lot of whiskey. They finally ask if we mind sharing some. We say, sure. They grab a bunch of cups from the water fountain. We fill them up. Short order, the ladies ask if they too might have a drink. We grab a few more cups, and thus begins our mission of mercy, getting everybody in the rear half of our train car totally smashed by the time we make Newark, including the conductor. We hit New Brunswick, and the ladies are way past tipsy. Doc asked one of them to switch seats with him, and she does. Now we're sitting alongside 2 really nice-looking babes. I asked the lady sitting next to me what her name is, and she giggles out, Gwenny, but everybody calls me Weegee. And then she giggles again. Oh, this is going to be good. I'm feeling pretty high. I can't help noticing she's really sexy. She's wearing tight-fitting dungarees, a way too small t-shirt. Her breasts look like bumper guards on a 58 Caddy Eldorado. She's got one of those trendy beehive hairdos, you know, like the Supremes. She has velvet smooth black-purple skin and a beautiful face. I'm falling in love. By the time we reach North Philly Station, we've killed 3 bottles of scotch sharing with our neighbors on the train. Doc suddenly jumps up and yells, hey, this is my stop, I gotta go. A drunken chorus of our new friends starts chanting, stay on the train, don't leave the train. They're stomping their feet and they're clapping their hands in rhythm. And the ladies chime in and they invite us to Chester to continue the party with them. I give Doc a look of desperation. Finally he says, well, okay, I'm in. He sits back down and the kids pour everybody another round of drinks. 30th Street Station. We give a quart of scotch to the college kids to share with the other passengers. We leave the train with the ladies to loud cheers and applause. We board a train for Chester, and we're dazzling the girls with tall tales of life at sea. I mean, we're a couple of smooth, silver-tongued devils here. In the cab, heading for Weegee's apartment, I ask her what she does for a living. She says she and Wanda are dancers. I'm thinking like go-go dancers in a cage wearing white vinyl knee boots and mini skirts, like on that show, Shindig, Hullabaloo, you know. Wow, how cool is that? Weegee and I are snuggled and tight in the back seat of the cab. We're making out. I overhear Wanda whispering to Doc, "What's up with this white boy? What's he hanging out with us for?" Doc says, "Don't worry, he's all right." "Are you sure?" I said, "He's cool, drop it." She does, and it never comes up again. In Weegee's living room, we get ice cubes with the scotch now, and the girls switch to rum and coke. Wanda puts Dedicated to the One I Love on the record player.
Oh, wow.
Weegee and I are dancing slow and tight. We're grinding hips. We're swapping spit. Lots of tongue going on. When the song ends, Wanda leans into Weegee and says, "Let's show him." Weegee looks up at me and she whispers, "You're gonna love this one." And they head for the bedroom. Doc and I bang down a couple scotches, and the girls finally come back. They're wearing tasseled pasties, tiny sequin G-strings, and platform stilettos. Holy shit, they're strippers! Doc and I look at each other, dazed like two weary prospectors who just hit the mother lode. Well, Doc and I are sitting on the couch now, and there's a raunchy saxophone wailing out Night Train on the record player. The girls are bumping and grinding through their routines, boobs bouncing, tassels whirling like carnival pinwheels, and hips thrusting just inches away from our faces. This has to be as close to heaven as a submarine sailor's ever going to get. The combination of the scotch, the music, the erotic dancing, and the heavy scent of perfume. Way too much stimulation. I just spent 60 days underwater in the North Atlantic smelling nothing but diesel fumes and ball sweat. Within milliseconds of the music ending, Weegee and I are both naked on our bed. We're trying to fill our hands, eyes, mouth, every available body part with each other. To this day, I never encountered a woman with such a perfect body. Wow, we're talking Playboy quality here. Yeah, I know, Hugh Hefner's never going to have a colored girl for centerfold. But she's hot, she's sweet, she's funny, and I'm totally lost in her for the weekend. We kiss, we cuddle, we make love through an incredible 3 days and nights, pausing only for food, a quick nap, a smoke, another drink. It's mostly she and I discovering how incredible two bodies can make each other feel. I can't say for sure what caused that magic. May have been my forced abstinence, her magnetism, or just a strong mutual attraction spiked with a lot of booze. Whatever chemistry happened resulted in a physical stamina that I had never experienced before and have never again since. I was fucking amazing. And Weegee agreed, judging by the loud screams and moans she's offering well into day 2. And from the sounds in the adjoining room, Doc seems to be on his best game too. Pretty amazing for an old desperado like him. Well, come Sunday morning, the girls accompany us back to the train station. I don't want to leave, ever. I give Weegee my address and I ask her to write me. We cling to each other in an embrace that neither of us wants to end. Doc finally grabs me by the collar and drags me to the train. We're both stone silent as the train pulls out of the station. We take a long last look at the ladies waving us off. Doc shakes his head and says, "Ain't we just the fucking baddest?" We don't say another word till we change trains in Philly. For the next 2 weeks, all I can think about is Weegee. I'm replaying that weekend over and over in my head. Doc says I'm acting like a lovesick puppy. Reminds me, hey, it's just a weekend thing, kid. We're having some fun, that's all. End of story. I have a knot in my stomach until the letter finally arrives. I'm surprised at how excited I am when I open it. Weegee says she can't stop thinking about me and she wants to move to New London to be with me. Uh-oh, that's not what I was expecting. The fantasy suddenly takes a hard left into reality. There's a bright red no flashing in my brain now. Do I have the guts to stand up to my family, my friends, and all the shit that's going to come down on both of us if we're a couple? While pondering this heavy moral and ethical question, my little man voice starts gnawing at me with a more personal dilemma. You really think you could live up to Weegee's expectations after that weekend? Come on, you're an average guy with average parts and not a hell of a lot of experience. You want to end up a one-hit wonder? Or would you rather she just remembered you as White Lightning?
Oh.
You see what's happening here. In my mind, I'm planting the seeds for failure, which will definitely happen now because I'm worried about it. Shit. Suddenly, taking a stand for what's right and what I believe in takes a back seat to my little man voice telling me, quit while you're ahead. Don't be a fucking loser again. Remember high school? Well, I punk out. I never answer the letter, or the next two. My fragile ego remains intact. My moral compass takes a big hit. So much for the idealistic philosophic seeker of truth. push comes to shove, I'm a real man. I think with my dick.
Oh.